Hello everybody, welcome to NP Golf. Today we're really fortunate, so I'm going to compare CIGMAN, a CIGMAN rangefinder, which is very cheap at between 70 and 90 euros, 70 and $90, against a premium rangefinder. And this is about 5 years old, but still costs 250 euros second hand, and in its day cost 450 euros. So $450, $250 second hand. So it's a good comparison to see what the differences are, if there are any differences, and whether we should actually buy something at this price range or not. So first I'm going to open up the box and look at what's inside the box, and then I'll compare the technology between the two of them, if there are any differences, and then we'll take both out on the course and compare them and see what they're like as well. To win the giveaway, all you have to do is be a subscriber, obviously, like the video, and put a comment saying CIGMAN and then whatever you want to say about it. First thing we're going to do is an unboxing. Okay, so let's look at the technology. So basically a laser, this is a laser rangefinder, gets the distance by firing a light at an object and then measuring the time that it comes back, and that decides the distance. Whereas a GPS uses a satellite to measure where things are, and the distance where you are on your phone, for example, the GPS signal, against where you want it to look really on a satellite map. Okay, so this fires a light basically. In theory it's more accurate because of that, but I don't think it's too much of a difference. Like what's 1, 2, even 3 or 4 or 5 yards? Well, 5 might be a difference, but 1 or 2 yards isn't a big difference. Okay, that's probably one of the first similarities that's important. They're both of these are super accurate. So this has an accuracy of 1 meter, 1 yard, more or less. Okay, so that's perfect really. Same as that one, as the Bushnell. So that's perfect. So the CIGMAN can have measure distance up to about 800 yards, 800 meters. Whereas this one goes up to 1,300 meters. But in the end, you're looking at a flag. Normally, it's not more than 250, 280, maybe 300 meters away or 300 yards away. No, generally, no. But they both cope with 400 or 450. The next thing is they both have a ×6 zoom. So that's really good to like really close up. And sometimes you can even have, if you're looking down, particularly have a look around at the hole and the obstacles that are there that you're looking, or the hazards that are around you. They both have a measurement of slope, or like toggle it a bit to get the slope measurement, or toggle it to take it off. Whereas on this one, all you have to do is move that up and down. If you've got a tournament, you just put it down, although I still forget sometimes. Or put it up if you're just playing a match to learn. Okay, so the slope measurement for me is one of the most important things you can have really on a rangefinder. Although you can't use it in a tournament, it helps you learn what the slope affects your yardage basically. Okay, so it's very important. So both of them have that. So that's excellent. And the other really important thing for any rangefinder is to vibrate so that you know that you're on a pin. Modern day pins also have some kind of metal thing there to help it bounce back off that light or attract the laser to it. So that helps as well. So normally if I'm not sure, I'll measure things behind and in front just to see what kind of distance it is, and also visually sort of realise what kind of distance it should be. Although sometimes you're not sure, hey? Especially if it's a back pin and there's trees behind it. So it's important to have like something that tells you that in theory it's caught onto it, and then you can measure a couple of other things or just check with it. So they both have that as well. So I would say for the price of 70 to 90 pounds, euros, dollars, this is excellent value. It has two of the most important things that both these have. Okay. Now let's look at the differences then. Perhaps the main difference obviously is this is a bit cheaper, so it's made of plastic. It doesn't feel cheap, right? It looks very modern. I like it's all in black, kind of goldy writing there. So it looks well made. It's got this kind of grippy surface there to hold on to, so that's good. So this feels more sturdy and it might last a bit longer. It's all made of metal and stuff, so it sometimes depends what you want. Like a heavy one seems easier to hold still, and a light one might feel a bit more difficult to hold still, especially if you've got sort of shaky hands. So that's something to bear in mind. As well. This one has a magnet, but we'll look at that in a second when we're on the golf course, see how it works really. That you attach to it, just like a strap onto it for a magnet, so you can put it on your cart or on your bag if you wanted to put on the metal. I'd be a bit unsure about that really. I never trust metal with that coming off, so I'm not sure. This doesn't, this is an older version. The modern versions do have that, but then you're looking like 500, 600 pounds or 500, 600 euros or dollars, more or less around that mark. So this weighs 152 grams and this weighs 227 grams. So 100 gram difference more or less, a bit more. This is charged by USB-C. That's good, so you never need to buy batteries. You need to watch out though, if you've got a tournament, I'd probably charge it up, top it up, make sure that it's ready, so it's something you always have to worry about. Whereas with this, I have batteries, which could be a problem, I haven't run out with them. So when I bought some cheap batteries from Amazon, so I've got like 10 of them, they cost like €1 each, whereas if you buy them from other places, they cost like €5 each, they're not cheap at all. So the Amazon ones are really cheap, and for €1, I have like 3 in my bag, I've always got them, but I don't need them anymore, they last for ages. So really it's not too much of a difference there, I don't think, batteries or not batteries. This has an IXP5 rating, which means it's water resistant and dust resistant. So water could get in there, they measure it with a shower, and it should therefore still work even if you put a shower over it. So you could use it in the rain. I wouldn't recommend it too much if it's really heavy rain, but you could use it in the rain. Whereas this you can use in the rain. It's totally waterproof. It's IXP7 level, so I don't know if you can submerge it, but you can definitely put it in a shower with you. Which is good in Galicia, trust me. This, when you look at it, has one colour, whereas this, the Bushnell, you can put it on with like red or black. So it's just black in this. It does have an advantage though. It measures the speed of objects by 5 kilometers more or less. I thought about using it for my driver, but 5 kilometers makes a difference really, but you could in theory measure your driver. The other difference is this can actually, well, both can be used for hunting, if that's what you like, but it can also be used for measuring things. So you can put this and it will measure the height of something. So you can measure the top of the building, the bottom, and it will measure the height from the top to the bottom there, giving you that height. So that's an interesting way of using it as well. Now we'll try it out on the course and compare it, using it actually on the course really, on the golf course, and see if there are any more differences. But it's nice, I like it, definitely recommend it so far, just looking at it and what it's like. It's a bit smaller, just a tiny bit smaller, not so, probably the same width, but not quite as long, as high. Not quite as wide is probably what I'd say. This has 2 lenses, this has 2 lenses as well. This is where you can change the different functions, and here you change the different functions on here. Both have a ×6 zoom, which you can rotate on here. Interesting. Let's go out to the course and see what they're like. So now we're going to try it on course, CIGMAN against Bushnell. And the first thing I wanted to explain is how the actual laser works on course. So obviously it shoots a beam and it gets the flag, and both give you a warning that you've got a flag. They vibrate. So here we're in Real Aero Club de Vigo on a lovely foggy morning this morning. And these I think this is the special one. We used to have a different kind of plate here, and that actually makes or attracts the laser, I think. And this flag also helps as well to view things. So it bounces off here, it goes back, and it gives you the distance there. On a day like today, it's actually quite difficult to get the flag directly. It's all sort of in the fog, and I suppose the laser doesn't penetrate precisely, or I don't know why, but it doesn't work very well. So in this kind of conditions, if you've got a GPS, it definitely wins the GPS over a rangefinder. Otherwise, you just have to measure things off. Well, let's try both of them on the course then. So the first thing to say is I've got an old bag. It's my my little son's bag when he was a little baby boy that I use for the Bushnell, and it just comes in and out. No? I think it's fairly waterproof and against the heat as well. Whereas the CIGMAN has a nice black case, opens up. It's got a protection here to stop it falling out, so you can leave it like that for a second. Take it out, get your distance, and put it back in. And to save you not having to zip it up, they have this clever thing. Put it there, and then it's very secure. Okay, so that's really good. So I like the bag. The bag's really nice quality. Let me show you. Nice and easy to put that on. I like the red touch. First thing though, so I definitely like the system of just putting it in there and putting the clip on. That's a really great idea. Better than my zipper and doing that. And with the pressure of your friends who are pushing you to go a little bit quicker, measuring the distances, that can be good. The other thing is this is definitely a lot lighter. The CIGMAN is a lot lighter. So here's where you measure the distance, and here's where you change the kind of mode that you want on it. So you've got this kind of grippy stuff here, both sides, underneath and at the top. Very good. This also has a grippy stuff. It's a bit bigger, and more sort of metal, probably a bit more abrasive as well. You've got a better grip there. But for my hand, I've got quite a big hand. That's still quite big. This goes in your hand nice and easy. Even if you've got small hands, I think they'd fit well in this. Okay, let's measure some distances and see how we can use it. 60.8 meters this puts, and this one 58 with, so 58, 59 on here. 63. Well, so even at this distance, like 55, 58 meters, I'd still measure it, no? And even if I was close, I'd measure it. Let's see. Nice short shot. Very short. Okay, even from this distance, we'll measure it again. 23.7. 23, so exactly the same really, no? 23 meters. I wouldn't have said it's 23. I don't know, I don't know what difference is. I go for a feel. So we're at the 100 meter mark. 115, 117. $121. This is definitely quicker, I think. So this is a good example of whose slope is going down, and also it's a bit bright against itself, and affects about how clear it is on the rangefinder. $133 straight to the flag, 131 with the slope going down. So it's only 2 meters different, even though it seems like it goes like a long way down. That's one of the good things about using a rangefinder. You learn about distances going uphill and downhill with the slope. $135 and 3 meters in going down. So not too much difference there. And both saw the flag as well. No? This one took a bit longer to get the flag, I have to admit. It's got it like more or less first time. 150 meter stake to the green. And we've got a good example here of trees right behind the flag. So let's see if we can get it quick. Okay, Bushnell. $149, $152 because of the uphill slope. So it's only 3 meters difference really, even though it looks like a lot of slope. The CIGMAN. Now behind. $151 meters, it's got it, 0.2. And 4.4 meters slope difference. So this is an interesting hole because really I want to make sure I get the pin out, and it's at the back of the green, so I don't want it to go too far behind the pin, so it needs to be very precise. $103. 120 back. So 102, 103 with the slope, and 120 at the back. So now I've got up to 120 with the Bushnell. $114 meters to the pin, and more or less 1 meter slope difference. Let's speak about it. Oh, and thank you ever so much to CIGMAN for putting this as a giveaway. They've been brilliant, and Jane particularly has been brilliant. Okay, the conclusion. Well, what I like about this then, it's light, it looks good quality, it's definitely got a grip on it, it has all the functions that you would want, and it's very cheap, very cheap.
It's missing a bit more waterproof function. It's not quite as quick as the Bushnell. It's probably a little bit less accurate. I don't know which one is more accurate or less accurate now, because like this is old as well, so maybe this is accurate and this isn't. I don't know, I'd have to test it. But the difference wasn't too great anyways, like 3 meters, not a lot. So what don't I like about it? Well, I suppose that's one thing, that it's not waterproof, 100 like this one is. I prefer a little bit heavier, it sort of holds your hand a bit now. This might last a little bit longer maybe. So in all, I'd say that this is a perfect rangefinder for a beginner, really, someone who's just beginning and wants to buy something quite cheap. It's like 75 euros, it's unbelievably cheap really, compared to this like 500 euros I suppose. So if you're a beginner, I go for this. If you're a bit of a better player and you want like a very accurate and quick speeds, then I go for this one. It will last you forever, I suppose. But very good. I thoroughly recommend it if you're looking for a cheap rangefinder. Excellent. And if you're looking for a more expensive one, well, I'll do a video. We'll look at some other rangefinders. Thanks a lot. Adios. Bye.